Okay, hi everyone. So I'm gonna jump right in to get started on this. So this is kind of a part one for starting your first row, because first we're gonna do a, um, a magic circle, or alternatively we can do the other method, which is the typically people chain four, chain five, slip stitch it together to create a loop and crochet within that loop. I'll demonstrate that as the part two um, for this video. So this is kind of like what is this the epilogue to this class here. So I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe I'll label this video as zero, because ideally we know this all beforehand, because this is probably the hardest part, and the part that will hold people back from staying on track and on time is learning this. So you're going to take your brown color for this class. This is starting the middle of the sunflower for the modified granny square for the um, intermediate, or I call it crochet 2 series, where we do crochet along, and this is the granny square throw. So we're going to start off with 36 squares to do a throw. You can totally turn it into a blanket and expand on and make it bigger, but I will talk more about that in class in later videos. So for now, let's just, as I mentioned, jump right in here. So you're going to take your yarn, the end of this here, you're going to put that and begin, most importantly, with this side. This is where it trips everyone up. The end of the yarn will start the lower left of the X shape. So I'm going to take the whole palm of my hand. Some of you can probably just work 3 fingers or even 2 to make the X, whatever works for you. I like to do this my whole hand, and my thumbs kind of hold everything in place. So I'm going to lay this down from the bottom to the top, bottom left to the top right of the X shape. Put it behind your palm. You're just gonna pull it straight down, and then you're going to cross this over to make the X. Now you see what I'm talking about. And then you're gonna bring this back down around your hand. So I'm going to use my thumb here to hold that for me. And the part we're going to work on is this side of your hand. You're going to have 2 strands. Get your handy dandy crochet hook for the appropriate size, or however you crochet. This is, oh crap, this is an American sizes. J, whatever the heck that means. I actually prefer millimeters. I guess this is 5.5. I don't remember what J is off the top of my head. And we're going to insert that under the first strand there. And then we're going to put the crochet hook down so we can grab the second strand. And we're going to pull that underneath. And you're going to turn your crochet hook up like so. And I'm going to use my finger here to grab the yarn, slide it down the throat so it's easier to see what's happening. And then you're going to turn a crochet hook, keep the hook facing up, and then you're going to turn that down and bring it back up to grab that left side here. And then you're going to pull it through this loop. If you can, some people can pull it through. My big old hand fingers can't do that. It's too tight. So what I like to do is use my index finger, push down here to hold that yarn, and I'm going to slip my hand out and drop it. And then I'm going to come back here and then pinch where I'm all this yarn here to make it easier. And then now I can easily pull that through the loop like so. And then now you're left with the loop here. And then the lovely tail here. It's going to be kind of twisty, so I kind of twist it to the left. So I have a loop here, and then I have the left side. Oops, I'll let this go so everyone can see it. You have the loop here, and then we're going to crochet around the tail. So the tail is going to be wrapped around with this loop here, and I'm going to crochet into this loop and then crochet around these 2 strands so that I can cinch this. And it's called the magic circle because as I can pull on this, sorry folks, my hand's casting a shadow. As my hand pulls on this, see how it slips and closes the loop? Alternatively, I can pull on the loop and expand it, and pull on it, so give me some good space there. So we're going to start with the. Well, actually, let me repeat this all over, so you guys don't have to keep pausing the video and returning it back to the beginning. I'll do this all over again. So we're going to undo this. Let's start over again. Let me see if I can describe this a different way. So get your hand out or use your fingers and then lay this down from as in a diagonal to form an X. There. I'm going to pull this a little more excess there. And then go behind your hand and go across, go back behind again, and then use my thumb here to pinch this and hold it together. 2 strands in the back of my hand. Get that crochet hook under the first part here, under it. Grab that second one, and I'm going to twist. What is this, twisting upwards? It's kind of hard to describe. And, sorry folks, I need to pull it down, then twist. And it's going to look like that, like an X. Use my fingernail here and kind of drag it across the throat, just so it's easier to work with. Grab the top left of this X shape here. Go underneath it. I'm going to pull that through the loop. It's actually really hard for me to do that, so I'm going to go here and then pinch this so that I can pull it through. There we go. Whoops. Pulled a little too much out. And then it leaves your loop here. I kind of pull the tail out because it's kind of wrapped around that. And then your working yarn's in the back here. Bring it here up on the top and makes it easier to see what we're doing. And there you go. And then you know that you did this correctly when you pull, as you pinch this here and hold it. I pull on this and see how it's closing the loop. Don't close it all the way. That's just to demonstrate. To undo it, you're just going to pull back on it. So that's how you know you did that correctly. So as we crochet our stitches around the tail and the circle, as we crochet our stitches here, eventually I can pull on this and it's going to cinch this and close it into a circle to the work that we're working on to start round 1. Okay, so I've done that 2 times. Let's do this over again. Try it one more time so you don't have to stop and rewind. Okay. Get your hand out, lay it across the working end, tail here. Start always out on the bottom, otherwise you're going to end up, it's not going to work. And then go down around your hand, cross over, create that X, bring it back. And then once you have that X shape, you still have your working end or yarn you're pulling. You're going to lay it across and use your thumb or finger, any finger really, whatever works, to pinch it and hold it. So you have your 2 strands that you're working there. Go under the first one, grab that left side one, bring it past the first one and twist it up. Slide it down so it's easier to grab the next part. Grab that part and then get it close as you can. I kind of let go, pinch there, and then pull it through. And then once you let it go, you'll see you have your little circle here. It's twisted, that piece. There we go. You have your loop. And the working end of the yarn coming from the bottom. For in this case, for me. That's third time's a charm. So this is part 1 epilogue is concluded, or is it prologue? I can't remember. What else can I say? So that's that to get this part done. And then now here's part 1. That was part 1A. This is part 1B. So if you're finding this a struggle and you're new to crochet and you're like, oh gosh, I've just never done that before, it's not working out. We have a plan B. which is fairly simple, what most people do. So what most people do is you're going to do a foundation chain of, it's not a foundation chain, but a chain of 5 or 4. I'm going to do, oops, that was ugly. Here we go. So get that yarn on your hook, your slip knot. And I'm going to do 4. 1. Oh, that was sad. Okay. 2, 3, 4. My chain 4 is kind of big. So that should probably work. If you don't have like an 1.5 inches or so, then chain another one. Most people chain 5. Actually, I think I'm going to chain 4 and go against the common what everyone does. So you're going to slip stitch into that beginning of that first stitch or the first chain. So insert your hook and then grab that working yarn and then slip stitch it right through. And you're going to create a little space here. Trying to get it to work right so you can see it. There we go. I got it around my finger. This is what you're going to work your stitches in instead of the magic circle if that wasn't working out for you. And then also work around the tail so you can cinch it tightly and weave it in or knot it even, whatever's going to work. For example, we're going to start off with double crochet. So chain 3. And then that counts as the first one. And so let's just do a second one, for example. So I'm doing this ahead. I'm jumping ahead. Let me verbalize this first. So you're going to insert your hook into that circle space here and then grab that working yarn, bring it up. As you remember, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. And here's your lovely little tail. So don't forget to start working over that tail. That's super important in order for you to cinch this off. So you're going to do 16 of these double crochets all around. You might have a small little gap in here. So unfortunately, that's what happens when we don't use a magic circle, but not to fret. There's a reason why you crochet around the tail. As you crochet around the tail in that loop, you're going to be able to pull this super tight, get this a darning needle, tapestry needle, sorry. The tapestry needle or yarn needle, some people call it, around this, and then you're going to weave it into your double crochets, like maybe go around once or twice, and then you're just going to have to like tie it off in there, hide it, or cinch it really tight, and then tie it. So keep this crocheting in around the loop closed. So I'm actually going to go back to the magic circle thing just because I'm going to prefer that method in this video. So I'm going to just undo all of this. Okay, we're undone. And I'm going to go back and do this again. So working tail, there we go on that side. Oh shoot, that was terrible. Okay. So now we actually begin the actual part here where I'm going to talk about crocheting again, 16 of our double crochets. So we're going to chain up 1, 2, 3. I do mine kind of tight. Okay. Get this working yarn around the camera. There we go. And then we have our loop here. Again, I should have tested it first. It works, so it's good. It slides. Now I have 1 down, 15 to go. So double crochet around. I'm not necessarily going to verbalize how to do a double crochet. I hope you have that down already. If you're taking this class and you sign up and you don't have any crochet knowledge, I'll work with you still, but you're going to be severely behind. I'm going to assume everyone has some at least know the basic stitches down. Because in this class for this Afghan modified, the little sunflower modified granny square, we're going to be doing double crochet at the center. The first petal we're going to do is a it's kind of like a puff stitch, I guess. A puff stitch, and then the leaves are going to be a cluster stitch of 4 half double crochets, and then we're going to crochet around to make it into a square with the sage color, and that'll be triple, double to half double, and those stitches will be done there. And then we're going to do the join as you go method. So that's pretty much all the stitches, really. The whole thing that's going to make everything is how fast you can get starting the circle doing this, and then getting 36 of these done. So I really just want everyone to be on the first class to get at least this down, and then I can help you all individually on the next class. At least the first week we get the first square down. If we don't, we're in trouble because we need to do 36, and I don't know, what is that, 3 a day? Hopefully everyone has time. I notice most people in my class are people that are probably retired anyways, so you do have plenty of time to work on them. But I still work a typical, well, I work 10-hour days, so do classes after work. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try to keep up with everyone as well. I'm not going to be a dodo bird and not have not work with you guys at the same time. So I'll pump out one of these throws as well. I like to call them throws. Afghan is kind of like an old terminology of the from the, I think it is the Afghan stitch method or something, and it kind of carried on into British culture, and then British culture obviously transmitted to early American culture crochet, and it kind of just stuck with it. Everyone says Afghan for a blanket, but I think that's kind of archaic terminology these days. So I'm just going to call it a throw, since it will be smaller than normal, and I'm not counting as I do this. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, look at that. I did 16. So now that you've done 16, let me lay this down so you guys can see it clearly. It'll look like this. It looks like a disaster. But the magic of the circle is you grab that tail and you pull on it, and we start closing up our